one of the best things you can heal through is the need for external validation. I know they've done a lot of programming when it comes to convincing humans that they need a group of friends around them, or they need a partner, or they need to dress provocatively to get attention. And it's crazy to see people in relationships dressing like they're in some porno and bending over to get attention from any stranger that's willing to look at them sexually, because for some reason they've been convinced that that makes them a better person, a more desirable person. Not at all. Any woman, like, I'm 3 years celibate now. Not celibate in the fact of religion, but I guess sustained, because I'm only monogamous, disgusted by hookup culture, could never share partners, don't believe in Tinder, one night stands, the word hookup. And you see the way that humanity is now, just so lost, and just the way people are dressing so provocatively. Man, the ones that show nothing are the attractive ones. The ones that are not looking for attention from anybody, those are the attractive ones. The ones that are dressing like they're in some porno, that's not attractive. That's not at all. And anyone that believes in open relationships, that's not love. That's just turning the world into a meat market and having no morals and values or respect for yourself. And no person could ever, in their right mind, say that it is okay that the person that they love to go and have the most sacred act with another being. That doesn't compute. That doesn't make sense. That's not right. That's not love. That's not truth. That's not morals and values. I reincarnated to stand up for universal justice, not to conform into this slavery, indoctrinated brainwashing that they've convinced everybody of. The loneliest time in your life is trying to fit into the wrong group of people, or spreading your sexuality. Open-minded does not mean open-legged. The more you respect yourself, the more you are going to set boundaries for respect. I don't demand respect, but if I don't get respect, they're out of my life forever. You know? You get to choose who is in your life. Like, I just wrote off my family, changed phone numbers. Nobody on the planet knows where I am. Nobody's allowed to, except for the few people that are around. But just because of the person that I am, you get stalked energetically by dark entities. Lucifer throws bugs, clones, people, situations, weather. Man, they're stalking like crazy. Even to the point where I have to put something on my camera and I end up waving and smiling at my camera. It's creepy the way that they run this world. And now you drive across Canada and there's just security cameras all over the place because this fear, control, abuse tactics that these small-minded governmental people have. It's funny, the other day I was in a conversation talking to a being about how my last DMT trip I went into hell and killed a demon and got to meet Lucifer, and he didn't like me very much. And as I was saying that, I had 3 cruisers show up out of nowhere and a police chief walking by just as I was saying that, and watched him literally shrivel up into a white face, and the cruiser behind me honking at me, trying to intimidate me. Man, that stuff to me is a joke. If you need to have some body armor and some silly little career with a gun on your side to make yourself feel powerful and go around trying to intimidate people, you're a very weak person. There's a reason why they tell people to have these groups of friends and to not be solo. When you are solo, And you don't need friends, don't need partners, don't need validation, don't need drugs, don't need sex. Man, you are 10,000 times stronger than most people could even imagine. Because you're not insecure by yourself. You're not needing any external. You're not caring about validation. Any red flag on any woman that I meet, goodbye, see you later, have a good life, enjoy Tinder. You know, anybody that gives out sexual energy to a stranger, go enjoy the low frequencies of life. Man, there's one queen on this planet for me, and that's it. Even today on a hike, had my shirt down a little bit because I was sweating buckets, kind of pushing myself. And I looked up and this girl was in a relationship and I felt her sexual energy, and instantly my soul said no, and I zipped up my shirt and my soul whispered, only my wife gets to look at me like that. And the fact that she was right beside her partner, oh my gosh, why are people settled for relationships, man? You see people so insecure beside their partners. If you are insecure beside your partner, then you're not with the right partner. If you're dating someone that says they want to live polyamory or open, that's because they don't want commitment. That's not love. That's just turning the world into a meat market, chasing pleasure because it makes them feel better for a second. I've never felt better without sex for 3 years. I've never felt better without a sip of alcohol for years and years. I've never felt better without any hard drugs at all. I am floating in gratitude. And that's the way to be. Man. Oh. Magic. Last conversation I had with the person that was supposed to be a father figure literally was, I came here to heal our bloodline. I'm done with abuse. I'm done with letting people in. Called out every single family member. Did my own a confrontation of my entire family at a family gathering, I don't know, a decade ago. All cousins, all grandparents, all everybody, and just called them all out on judgment and just the whole dynamics. I reincarnated into a dark bloodline so I could help that bloodline out. And even joked with the person that was my mother about how I'm not from their DNA. I am definitely not anything to do with their DNA or their bloodline, but reincarnated into it so I can heal the bloodline. Because both sisters, one of them is even more dark and psychopathic than my father or mother. And then my other sister, man, she's abusing her kids more than you can ever imagine. And even the other day, joking about it at a soccer game around a whole bunch of other mothers, talking about how she's destroyed her daughter and abused her daughter. Just that alone is abuse. Oh, man. Yeah. You have the opportunity to heal. You have the opportunity to grow. And you have the opportunity to be a good person. You know, heal through the karmas, heal through the traumas, heal through the insecurities. Confront your inside. Spend a few days without a phone. Go into the forest and talk to yourself. Let your insecurities arise. Let your emotions come forward. Feel everything. Cry it out. Laugh it out. I've blown boxing gloves apart, envisioning my father's face on the boxing glove, because I don't have, or on the boxing bag, I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm not afraid of anything, but I also wouldn't want to be violent. When it came to standing up to my father after getting back from traveling the world for 7 years backpacking, the first thing he said after not seeing him for 10 years was, if you have a single effing thing to say, that there's gonna be a fucking problem. And it's like, man, one, I have 3 pages to read you about how shit you are as a person. And 2, how darkly psychopathic could you be? Literally, the day you picked me up at the Toronto airport after not seeing me for about 10 years, that's your first remark? Honestly, I reincarnated into the darkest family humanly possible and chose the most trauma you could ever go through and the darkest path with the most amount of death and the most amount of entire life flips, because I chose to choose the hardest path. You get to choose your sex, you get to choose your family, you get to choose your career, you get to choose how easy of a story. You meet all of your spirit realm before coming to this plane. So I also did it for a reason. I came back to be the catalyst for universal justice. So I don't care about fitting in. I don't care about being liked. I'm not here for that fluff. I'm here to be real in a world of weaponized kindness. It's funny, the more I just stay peaceful and mind my own business, the more you get attacked. But that's just, nothing is ever against you. People are only against themselves. Because no human that is a good soul would ever look at another being and wonder in their mind how they could hurt them. So it truly shows you how 95% of people are just lost. Hurt people are hurting people. So don't worry, they've activated all their own karmas and they're living their own miserable stories. So, man, enjoy this beautiful life we get to live. Have the best day of your life. And keep on keeping on, baby. Woo!